All right, we've got the recording started. It is August 1st. Welcome to Power Hour. I appreciate you all jumping on. We got a huge crowd tonight. I'm glad to see that, and I know there'll be more jumping on and a lot of people watching this replay. We got some great information for you all tonight. So one of the things, and I had to reboot my computer. Give me one quick second, and then we will get going here. Make sure I've got that set up. All right, we'll handle it this way. This will be better. All right. Here we go. All right, before we get started, I wanted to do a real quick shout out. So, and when I do these, I want to do these. I don't want anybody to feel like, oh, well, I did this, that, and the other, and he didn't recognize that. There are so many people that are crushing it right now that it's just awesome to see. And somebody that I wanted to call out is Miss Tammy Tuttle. She has been in the business for about, I think it's almost 2 years that she's been in, and got started and didn't come out just on fire, blowing it up, killing it, crushing it, making it to diamond in 13 days. That didn't happen. But she's stuck with it. She's been around, she plugs in, and she's had some chats with a couple of the shooters, and then she decided, she made a decision, and she stepped up. She came to the One Conversation Away Challenge. She participated. She really was present with it, and she's been on fire. She has been following the steps. She's been getting after it, and it has been awesome to be able to see. I've been very excited to watch her do this. She's been in all of our chat sessions saying, hey, this is what I'm saying. What are your thoughts? What should I do here? So I wanted to call her out. I want to give her a shout out. That great job. In doing that, she passed the ball to Mr. Eddie Blacknell, one of our shooters, and he is in business with this person. They're going to be chatting. Very good chance of helping them with blood pressure, diabetes, quite a few different things that this gentleman's dealing with. And she is following the process perfectly. She's going out. She's having conversations. So just overall, freaking awesome. And I wanted to call her out. So great job on that. Very proud of you. It's been great to see. So tonight we've got a couple things, absolutely. We're all here for a very big announcement on what's coming. Casey, what's the new thing? Before I get into that, I wanted to share with you a pretty interesting story, and I wanted to call out the power of what it is that we do with our system. Our system has simply 5 steps to it. The Jade Factory system is 5 steps. You've heard this 1,000 times. I'm going to say it again. We say hi. We wave, step 1. We say hi is step 2. We have a conversation is step 3. We connect with them even deeper at step 4 when we hear a thing that they're dealing with. And then we pass to the proof. Okay, we introduce the proof, aka pass the ball. You hear it said a couple different ways. But the key, the real big key, are those last 3 that get things really rolling. The first 2 is just kind of your warm-up lap. But then you're having a conversation. When you're doing that, there's what most people do is they throw up because they're talking too much. I want to give you a real world example of where I was on the flip side of that. As you all know, I've got a embroidery and screen printing business. We've been around for 20 plus years. I purchased this business about 4 or 5 years ago. Another one of the assets that I've got as a result of network marketing, giving me the capital to be able to purchase that. And then it just keeps making money on top of it. One of the things that I've been looking at is a special printer. This printer, I'm looking at the receipt right here, $21,872. Okay, so it's not your basic HP that you go down to Office Max and get. If I'm going to spend that much money, if you're going to spend that much money, you would think that the person that you're dealing with would actually not be an absolute moron. Well, let me explain to you that that's not the case. And I want you to grab some parallels on what I encountered, and I want you to check yourself to see, is this something that you might be doing? So these lovely people that we've been doing business with for a very long time have not come to check on me in quite a while. I reach out to them. I went to a big convention. They put me up, and we had a lot of fun and met all their people. Not one call from them in the last at least 11 months. Haven't heard peep nor sound from them. Now, we're buying stuff from them, but no talk. Nobody's coming by. Nobody's checking in on me. So that's a little bit of a, okay, no big deal. I didn't call them. I am a paying customer, but they haven't called me. No big deal. Let me check with them. We've been doing business for a long time. Let me see if I can ask some questions about what it is I want to buy. Call them up. I have to go through 5 people to get to somebody that actually knows anything about anything. And this is just to be able to tell them what my requirements are, what I'm looking for. Here's how the conversation went. Well, here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for one of these printers that didn't, then boom, interrupted. Okay, well, let me listen to this guy talk for the next 5 minutes. Okay, that's all great. I know all that stuff. Here's what, okay, let me get interrupted again, and you keep telling me some more stuff that I already know. Okay, let me get interrupted again. Y'all keep, hold on a second. You've been telling me a whole bunch of stuff. I don't need to hear all that. Let me ask what I'm looking for. I need to know, does it do, off we go again. This goes on and on and on. The only reason I stayed on the phone is because if I can get it for cheaper from them, I'm going to do so. It finally gets to a point where I ask them, I say, let me just ask a real simple question. How long will it take for me to have this in hand? It takes him 4 minutes explaining everything that I did not ask about to finally get to the point where it's 3 to 5 days. 4 minutes before he could tell me that part. I was ready to find that guy and take a bat to him. I was not pleased with the conversation. That conversation ends. I'm irritated. I move on. I call these people. They ask me questions. How can we help you today? What are you looking for? And then he shut up and he listened. I told him my whole life story of what I'm looking for. And then I got to a point where it says, I've got a question about this. What's your question? I tell him my question. He pauses. He doesn't interrupt me. Then he actually gave me the information I was looking for. Novel freaking idea. This guy's never talked to me, never heard from me before. And just like that, he rang up a $21,872.90 order yesterday from me because he actually shut up and listened. Isn't that interesting? So I ask you, how are you doing when you're talking to people? Are you Mr. Fix-It, who not going to get any more of my business? I will go to New Jersey to give somebody my business if they will just listen to me. And that's how they got my business. What are you doing with your people? You checking on them? You following up with them? You seeing how their life is? Or are you trying to sell them something that they don't want? Because that's what, even when they want it, are they paying attention? Very interesting. So anyway, I wanted to give that. It's also therapeutic for my soul to get that off my chest. But I saw an absolute parallel to what it is that we do. If you'll focus on the other person, shut your pie hole and listen after you ask them a question. Don't ask and answer. Ask and zip it. It's so simple. You would think somebody whose livelihood is based upon being able to sell stuff would figure that out. It is fascinating to me how few people know how to actually do that type of business. It's not rocket science. Now, the thing that he did have was a whole bunch of confidence. You all need to make sure you got your confidence, and you need to make sure that you follow that system. If you do that, things are amazing. Okay, so enough about him. Let's talk about our Blitz campaign. All right, I've been laying this out since, well, earlier in the year, like first couple months of the year, refining it, then delivering it all to you guys in a very big package. That was the blueprint that we went over in the mansion in Salt Lake City a couple months ago. I told you through the summer we were going to do the one conversation away challenges, dump truck driving all summer, and we have been. You've noticed a massive increase in the amount of people that are being added into the group because they're new people. There are new business partners coming on, new customers coming on, and a whole bunch of conversations occurring to people that were not quite ready to join just yet, but are still in the process. That is huge. That is filling your funnel. That is talking to a bunch of people. We've been doing a great job with that. The whole purpose of that has been to do, and for your notes, write this down, maintaining altitude. Okay? Think of this vehicle as the Jade Factory jet. In the Jade Factory jet, you got to maintain altitude. Okay, now here's the deal. Your altitude could be 0.1 meters off the ground. What does that mean? It means you're still on the runway and you've been taxiing around the airport, spending a lot of gas, moving your jet around the airport, and you haven't actually had that sucker take off just yet. But you're maintaining altitude and you are producing and you are bringing on customers and you are bringing on business partners and you are having these conversations with people. You're finding out about them. You're building rapport with them. You're making it about them. You're hearing their issues. You're empathizing with them. You're connecting with them. You're asking their permission if they actually want to fix it or did they just want to vent. You're piquing their interest. They're getting excited about there being a possibility of an end to their suffering. All those things are happening. You're passing the ball. You're introducing the proof person. You're introducing the proof tools. You're being able to get them into wellness from the inside out. Some of them are just ready to be a customer right away. All these things are happening. You're understanding the 5 steps that we do, which is wave, say hi, you form them until you find the thing, you empathize with them, you connect with them, you ask permission if they want to fix it, you pique their interest, and then you pass. You introduce them to the proof. Those are the 5 steps. Y'all have been doing that. So here's the deal that I want, and the engine is running great on the plane, and the plane's moving along, and there's a little bit of spark going on in your business, and you're seeing some stuff happen. So what have we been doing that for? I've been doing that to show you that that's how you maintain, that is your day-to-day, how you do this business. Some of you are spending about 14 seconds by waving to 10 people, and that's all you do. And if that's serving you and that's all you want to do, it's your business, I'm good with it. Do it how you want to. Run your plane as much as you want. Some of you are spending 10 minutes. Some of you are spending 2 hours. Some of you are spending 5 hours. Some of you are spending all day putting yourself into situations where you're doing that. You're observant to what's going on. Anytime you're anywhere and you hear somebody talking about something, you tune into that. However much time you've been doing. That's maintaining your altitude. Whatever your dreams, aspirations, desires, all those vision boards, all of that rolled up into the desire box. Look at how much time you're spending, and is that congruent with what your desires and how bad you want them? If it is, awesome. If it's not, reprioritize what you got going on in your life. That's your choice. But listen to those words that I said carefully. Reprioritize. It's your choice. You choose. We all got 24 hours a day. You figure out what you want to spend it on. What you've been doing is awesome. That's how you maintain this. Now, when you have an airplane and you're ready to get it off the ground, there's a special thing that has to happen with an airplane, and that is you got to push the throttle to 100%. Ask any pilot of any airplane, and it will not take off at 90%, 80%, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 10, 5, 1%. It ain't clearing the trees. It's got to be 100% throttle for that vehicle to be able to take off and go. Now, here's another very important thing about airplanes. When they take off, you cannot leave it at 100% throttle forever. You'll burn the engines up. So what happens is once they get up to their cruising altitude, they pull back on the throttle, and now they're cruising at the same elevation, same altitude, and they maintain that at their cruising altitude. It takes just about as much energy to be able to move the plane on the runway to keep a constant momentum as it does 30,000 feet going 600 miles an hour. It's still about 30 to 40, 50, 60% throttle, depending on the airplane. Kyani, network marketing is no different. When you take off, you need to take off. When you get to where you want to get, you level off. Then a little bit later, maybe you got a thunderstorm coming up. You got to go up a little bit higher. You push on that 100% and you climb up to the next level and the next level and the next level. But when you're not climbing, you can maintain. What you all have been doing for the most part, not about 99% of you, has been maintaining, and that is perfectly fine. And that's what this summer has been all about, because it's summertime. Everybody's got all kinds of stuff going on, your trips, you're flying around. Summer is just a different time of the year for most people. But something very special is getting ready to happen. Almost globally, kids are about to go back to school. And for whatever reason, most of y'all have not been in school for quite a few years. We are still tied to the school calendar. My wife especially, she said, well, I'm on summertime. I said, you haven't been a school teacher for 7 years. Yeah, but it's summertime. That's just how it is. After kids get back in school, you notice that traffic returns to normal. Everybody's on the roads again. You get that little break from traffic in the summertime because everybody's on vacation. That's how you know that people are doing stuff different. And then from about September all the way to May, traffic sucks again. Why? Because everybody's in a routine. Then after school gets back, you have a little bit of time where there's normalcy in most people's schedule. And that's September, October, and half of November. Now, in the middle of November, everybody loses their mind and forgets that there's Thanksgiving in the U.S. In December, they really freak out somewhere around about the 19th of December, and they remember that there's this holiday called Christmas. And everybody loses their mind again. It's a pattern that human beings continuously do. Now, when you get your own planet, you can change the rules up, move things around, however you want to do it. But for now, that's how things typically go. So instead of getting, well, it shouldn't be that way. Instead, let's change that and go with it. So our campaign is going to officially take off right after Labor Day. Okay? That's going to be September 3rd. It's a Tuesday. This campaign is going to go through the month of September. That's the first phase. The second phase is going to go through the month of October, and the third phase is going to go through the month of November. This campaign comes to a conclusion on December 11th of this year when we are in Las Vegas at the Network Marketing Pro GoPro event by Eric Worre in the MGM. I bought $13,000 worth of tickets to that thing. That's enough for 50 of y'all to come hang with me. Well, 49 of y'all, because I need a ticket too. Those tickets are $230 because I bought so many of them. If you go on the website right now, I think it's $447 if you wanted to get one from the site. If you go get a 10-pack, it's going to be $300 and something. And if you get a 50-pack, it's still going to be like $280 or something like that. So because I bought those at the last year's event, we've got a discount on those. That is a first come, first serve. If everything goes to plan, we're going to need about 20 of those 50 packs. And let me lay that out for you on how that's going to go as a team. So when we launch the business, when we take off, we're going to all do that together. I'm going to draw some stuff on my board here. And I'm also going to have a calendar that I will release out to the group so you can see all of this in calendar format. So, and I should not use this pen on my screen. I will be mad at myself. Use the right pen for the screen. So when you take off, here's what we're going to do. In August, somewhere around August, the week of August 12th, maybe even as late as the week of the 19th, we're going to do something called a whisper campaign. So everything I'm going to lay out for you is for the Blitz, Jade Factory Blitz campaign. I have been doing these blitzes for the last 7 years. I've called them different things, but it all comes down to the same concept, which is a massive amount of energy put into a very condensed amount of time to get maximum results. This business, network marketing as a whole, is not a tortoise versus hare event. This is not just a marathon. It is a marathon that has built-in sprint levels to it. Okay? It is about momentum. It's about building momentum. It's like launching an airplane. You got to take off. So we've been doing these for a very long time. Eric Worre is the guy that's coined all of this. This was what actually turned me onto him, is somebody showed me a video on how they did that, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I've never seen that before. That wasn't taught, and it's become absolute standard. There are so many people, anybody that has blown up network marketing business will always, always, always relate back their success to one of these blitzes. They can call it whatever they want to. They can shine it up however they want to. It all came down to doing this type of thing. When I first came into the business, in our first 31 days, we hit Sapphire with nothing in Houston and nobody knowing anything. And simply, I got done 3 weeks of education on what was going on and asking questions. Then I'm like, let's do that. And that's how we started it. We did a blitz. So the blitz has a couple of parts to it. It's going to go from the middle of August, and it's going to end in a big event, a massive event, the GoPro event. That's the full campaign. Out of this, to go ahead and get your head right, you're going to need about 10 days of going at it hard. That's you putting this sucker into launch. This is you getting your business off the ground. This is the exciting part. What's really cool, let me just alleviate any fears, concerns, stuff that's starting to creep in on you, is that everything we do is something you have already done with this system. It is still the same steps. I'm just going to shrink it down and cause it to vibrate a whole lot faster. Okay? So the first parts that we do is the first step is called the Whisper campaign. It's very simple. It is simply you sending a text message or having a conversation with somebody where you call your shot. You let them know you're about to do something extremely big. I'll give you an example. I'm going to talk this out as if I'm talking to somebody. You can also do this via text, and I would recommend you do it by text because you'll be able to hit more people quicker. This is a simple thing. Joe, oh my goodness, I'm so glad I got a hold of you. Hey man, I wanted to give you a quick heads up. I've got something huge that I am working on. This is the biggest thing I've ever worked on in my life. I cannot wait to share this thing with you. I'm still putting the finishing touches on it. I'm about to launch this whole thing. I thought about you. I wanted to share with you, let you know I'm excited about this. I'm going to be getting back with you, and listen for my phone call. When I call you, I'm going to be ready to share this with you. But dude, I got something huge. Let me get all the finishing touches on it, and I'll get back with you. I got to go. It's a monologue. There's not a lot of conversation going to it. You're declaring your excitement. You are planting a seed that will cause curiosity. It's human emotion. That's what we're sending to them. You're not giving them a presentation. You're not doing anything. You've been keeping up with Joe. You've been talking to Joe over the summer. You've been seeing what they've been going on. You've been asking how their family is. You've been asking how his job is. You've been doing all these steps over the summer where you've been building rapport with a lot of people. If you've been doing 10 a day and you've been around for the last 30 days, that should be 300 conversations that you've had. Well, Casey, I didn't know that we were going to do this thing, and so I'm a little behind and I haven't been doing that like I should have been doing. That's cool. Guess what? We're at August 1st. You've got a month to be able to get this ready to go. Because you can tell them on that Whisper campaign, is like, hey man, I got something huge. And then check in with them and do the stuff, but you've got time to be able to do all this. So if you haven't been, make sure you're reaching out to people and chatting with them. So that's the Whisper. That's it. You can send it in a text. They might say, well, what are you doing? What's going on? Tell me more. Man, I can't tell you right now. I'm busy. I got to get more people. I need to let a couple more people know on this thing. They've been asking how I've been. I got to get back to them. But, man, I'm getting all the fish. I'll get with you. I promise you, you're on my list. I'm going to reach out to you. Okay, man, sounds good. Got to go. Bye. That's the type of thing that we're doing here with the Whisper campaign. That'll be done middle of August. Okay. No earlier than that. If you do, it's not going to hurt anything, but I would recommend middle of August through the end of August prior to Labor Day, you execute on this. You can sit down and bang this out. You get your text message, you copy it, you put their name, Joe, comma, hey, I had to let you know about what I got going on. I'm pretty pumped about something. You're not telling them what you're pumped about. You're not carpet bombing them because you're not telling them anything. You're just having a conversation with them, letting them know that you're excited about something that's coming soon, more to be revealed later. Okay? You've been building emotional bank accounts here. It's time for you to send this one as well, and then you'll see how this comes together. So that's the Whisper campaign. Labor Day is on a Monday, September 2nd. School, most likely for all of you, is going to start prior to that, sometime in August. You're going to have the Labor Day. You're going to have the holiday. Then on Tuesday and Wednesday, this is of September, in these 2 days, we're going to do the second step. This is the first one. This is the second one. The second one is fill the calendar. This is where you are going to send an invitation to these people. How many people? You've been communicating with people. Hopefully you've got over 100, 140, 300, 600, 900, depending on how many people you've been talking to, depending on how much you've been doing to maintain at your level. Whatever you're doing, it is okay. Don't get bent out. Well, I can't do this. I missed my window. I can't do. Whatever you've done is fine. I haven't sent anything. You're still fine. Don't worry about it. If you've done that, will it help you? It will give you an extra advantage, but it is not a requirement to be able to do this. I do these with people that literally joined yesterday, and today we start the Whisper campaign. Okay? Without anything else. So don't worry about it. So step 2 is we're going to fill the calendar with an invitation. What does that mean? You're going to reach out to all the people that you reached out to over here for your Whisper campaign, and then you're going to get back with them after Labor Day. And you're going to say, Joe, hey, man, I hope you had a good holiday. I'm at it. I told you I was going to give you a call. Today is that call. I am pumped about this. When can we get together for 30 minutes and have a cup of coffee? If you don't like coffee, insert tea, beer, wine, scotch, whatever your favorite beverage is. Don't care. You want to get together with them for 30 minutes. Well, Casey, what if they're in a different city or state or country? Doesn't matter. Just let them know, hey, I want to get together with you for 30 minutes. If you're local, pick a local spot. Your house, their house, Panera Bread, Starbucks, Red Robin, Burger King, Taco Bell, I don't care. Best that you can do to get face-to-face. If you can't do face-to-face, phone call. If you can't do phone call, Zoom. If you can't do Zoom, it doesn't work. You got to at least be where you can see them or at least be on the phone with them. All right. One quick second here. Okay. So when you make that phone call, you're going to say, I want to get together with you. What's it about? It's that thing I was telling you about a couple weeks ago, a couple days ago, a couple hours ago. I got everything sorted out. I got to get together with you. I got to share this. Can you tell it to me now? I cannot. I'm calling everybody to set this up. You're one of a lot of people, but you're one of the first ones I'm calling. I wanted to make sure we can get together. This is one of those things I got to see you if we can, or I got to schedule some time with it, but I can't do it now. I got too many people I'm reaching out to. When can we get together for 30 minutes? You want to set this for some time between Thursday, the 5th, and Sunday, the 15th. There's a whole week in there. Okay? So there's Friday, the 6th, Saturday, the 7th, Sunday, the 8th, Monday, the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and then Sunday the 15th. Between here, and again, this is going to be a calendar that I'm going to show you all. All of this is labeled. Sorry, I did something to my screen that I'm not quite sure what I did. There we go. So between the 15th and the 5th, all the way through here, all the way through here, those are the times that you want to be able to set that up. Well, Casey, I'm going on vacation. I'm not going to be around for this. I've got a work event that I got to go to. Don't worry about it. Fit it in as best you can for being able to do this, okay? But ideally, you want to, and I mentioned saving the date for the first part of September. This is what we're doing. You want to set those appointments where you can get with them between the 5th through the 15th and set up 30-minute conversations with them. That's that step between the 3rd and the 4th. That's you filling the calendar and setting 30-minute appointments. That's 10 days. If we do this right, ideally, you're going to reach out to, your whisper campaign is going to be to 140 people, between 100 and 140 people. When you do that, you're going to reach back out to them on the 3rd and 4th, and you're going to invite them, best to do it on the phone, you're going to invite them to sit with you for an appointment for 30 minutes. If you do that, you're looking at somewhere between 40 to 50 hours of work. This is the work. This is the launch. These, from the 5th to the 15th, is when you're going to change the trajectory of your business and of your life. And I'm going to show you some numbers on how these things work out. By you plugging into this and hitting this hard, taking all of your time and crunching it down into these 30-minute increments, and it could be faster than that. It could be 15 minutes. It could be 10 minutes. It depends on who you are, who you're chatting with, so many things. Don't worry about it being just exactly perfectly with this. Get the idea. But you're going to have somewhere around 25 to 50 hours worth of work to do in 10 days. Some people, this will freak out. Oh, I can't do that. I'm so tired when I get home from work. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired when you get home from work, change it. This is how you change it. Casey, I don't know if this Blitz campaign is for me. I'm so good with that. Do not feel that this is any type of requirement. This is an opportunity. If you ain't ready for this, I'm good. Well, Casey, the timing is just not right for me right now. I don't know what you got going on in your life. I'm good with it. It is your choice. I'm giving you something amazing as an opportunity. You can do these whenever you want. You can do these year-round, and they're done year-round. I've done them in all quarters, all seasons. I've tried every combination. This is the best time to be able to do these for the most people. And I'm looking at this from the Jade factory as a whole. By pushing through this, you've got 25 to 50 hours of work that you're going to hit it hard. Here's what you're going to do. This is the next step. So you filled your calendar. That was step 2. Step 3 is actually having the appointments. These are the 30-minute meetings. This is you and your friend, not your prospect, but your friend. You're going at this as a human, not a Kyani sniper, okay? It is not a big buck. While it's getting close to deer season, this is not a big buck that you're trying to line up. Got one! That's not what we're doing here. You're going to have a conversation. The 30-minute conversation, my hope is that you've got somewhere between 80 to 100 of these. Here's what you're going to do in that 30-minute conversation. This is ideal. Everyone's going to be different. I want 27 minutes of conversation where you are talking and asking them about them. How's your family? How are you doing? How's your family? How's your occupation? How's your recreation? How's your motivation? And I want you to reserve 3 minutes for your story. So you've been good, family's good, all that's good. That's so great. Hey, I see that we got about 3 minutes. I told you I needed 30 minutes. I mainly wanted to catch up with you, see how things were going. I appreciate everything that you shared in there. And one of the things that I remember from you, and we've talked about in the past, and things that I've recognized, I could be way off on this, but I think that you might be interested in making some extra money. I'm not quite sure, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to tell you my story real fast. Everybody loves a story. Oh, what you got? What's your story? My story has 4 parts. I'm going to give you guys the behind the scenes, and then I'll role play an example of telling the story. The 4 parts of the story is your background, the second part of your story is what you disliked. The third part of your story is your epiphany on what you found. And you're really excited about the 4th part because you're going to talk about your future. I'd prefer that be 30 seconds. Don't go more than 3 minutes. Why? Because they don't care. The only thing they want to hear about is the spaghetti. They want to hear about the bad stuff. They want to hear about how your day sucked, what you're not happy about, and they're going to relate to that. And let me give you an example on how that story goes. Joe, it's been so good catching up with you, man. Hey, I got a couple people coming up here in just a second. I told you this is going to be 30 minutes. And hey, just real quick, I want to tell you my story and what I'm so pumped up about, man. Here's the deal. You know me. You know I've been in corporate America. My background is I've been doing that for 21 years. I am so sick of the politics. I'm so sick of spending more time in traffic than I see my kids. I've been looking for a way out. Man, it's just, that's my background, and you know what I hate. I spend more time in traffic than I see my kids. That's what I hate. And as luck would have it, providence would have it, grace would have it, God intervened. He listened to my prayers, and he put somebody in front of me that shared something amazing, and I found something that I'm super, super excited about. Now, here's the deal. I don't know if it's for you. I just know what it's doing for me. I'm taking this thing all the way to the top. I reached out to you because you're my friend. I've been looking at this thing. I'm excited about it. I've been getting all my ducks in a row, and it is now time for me to take this thing all the way to the top. I'm going to the top. And Joe, I don't mean this rude, but I'm going to the top with or without you. I would love, though, for my future on what I see this doing, which is to get me retired, to get my wife retired, so that I get to spend time with the kids and not chasing dollars, to be able to go wherever I want, whenever I want, whatever your future may be, what you see it as. And Joe, it'd be so cool if we'd be able to do that together. Now, I don't know if that, tickles your fancy. I don't know if that blows your hair back. I don't know if you've got any interest in that. If you do, we can take it to the other step. But the big thing was I wanted to get together with you. I want to find out how things were going. And I want to share this little bit of story about what I've got going on, because, man, you would be really upset with me when I hit the top and I never came by when there was an opportunity that I could have shared this with you. Let me know if you got any interest in that, Joe. Joe is going to reply with a yes, or he's going to reply with a no, or he's going to say, what is it? If it's yes, say, cool. Here's what we're going to do. I want to get you some information about what we've got going on here. The easiest way for me to be able to do that is let me introduce you to the proof. Let me introduce you to the guy that's killing this thing. Let me introduce you to the lady that's working with me that is crushing this thing. Let me introduce you to somebody that knows what the heck is going on in this thing, because like I told you, I just got started with it. And the cool thing about all this is I don't have to be the guy that knows all this stuff. I have a team that's here for me. I'm going to introduce you to these people. Is that going to be all right with you? Yes or no? Well, can't you just tell me? I'd be doing it some injustice. Trust this process, man. That's the power of what this is. Don't go with what you think this is. I made that mistake. I almost said no to this because I thought I knew what it was. Follow this process, get the right information and deliver to you in the right way. And then after that, if you don't want to do it, that's fine, but at least take a look. And that's what you're going to do in your 30-minute sit down. You're going to do that from the 5th to the 15th. By doing that, you're going to pique their interest. They're going to be interested, or they're not. No, man, I'm good. I got so much that I've got going on right now. I don't have time to take on any new thing. Joe, I understand, man. I know how you feel. I felt the same way. Here's what I found, man. I almost said no because I'm so busy. We're all busy. This guy that I want to introduce you to has built a system that does not require this to take time. He's 42 years old and he just retired from corporate America. He built systems for a $16 billion chemical company. He's got that part figured out. What is it that we do? We have a conversation with the guy. He'll explain it to you. You told me you had a huge desire. You told me that you want to be able to reach out and make this thing happen. Listen to this guy. He can connect some dots for you. He's going to show you a different way of looking at it that you've never looked at before. You keep doing the same thing you've always been doing, you're going to have the same things that you've always got. I decided that I didn't want to keep doing that. I didn't want to keep hitting my head against the wall. I want to be able to do something different. Now, I just did all of that. I've been doing this for a decade. That rolls off my tongue a whole lot better than it probably will off of yours. I gave you 27 different permutations of how that could go. All you need to do when you're having this conversation is you make this extremely simple. I wanted to give you all the color commentary on that so you can kind of get a feel on how this movie's going to play out. Don't get nervous about this. All you're doing is telling your story, listening to what their response is, and make sure they don't say no to something that they don't know anything about. That's it. If they do, that's fine. Next, move on. Let me say all that one more time because I really want to make sure you don't get, oh man, I had them up to that point and that's just crazy. I can't do all that. Yes, you can. You've been in a grocery store before. You've told your story to 100,000 people. You're always telling your story because it's your story. You don't have to rehearse your story. You know what your story is. Just open your mouth and tell them your story. Tell them what's been going on. Tell them what you didn't like about it. Tell them what you found. Tell them what the future looks like for you. Invite them to take a look at what you're doing or not. And if they say not, ask them why. And if their objection is they don't have time, say that's the problem with most people is they say no to something they don't understand. Spend 30 minutes with this guy and see if it changes the trajectory of your life. It's that important to me. I don't care if you say no. Just make sure you have the information so that you know what you're saying no to. I've seen these before. Have you talked to Casey Salge? Who the hell is he? Then you don't know what this is about. The dude's on 2 magazine covers. He's leading the expansion in the 4th largest city of the United States of America for a company that's in 69 countries, and he just retired from a $16 billion company. Talk to the damn guy. You bring passion like that, nobody says no. You go, well, if that's what you want to do, that's okay. And you're meek and you don't stand for your friend, you're going to get no's. You do it that way, they're coming. They're going to take a look. That's all you want them to do. This is the work. I know I said it was 40 to 50 minutes of work, or 40 to 50 hours of work. It's not. It's 100 3-minute stories. The rest of this you've been doing at H-E-B, Kroger, Walmart, Safeway, Albertsons, whatever your grocery store is of choice. You've been doing this your whole life. 3 minutes of this is what you got to do, and it's telling your story. That's it. Don't make this harder than it is. Heck yeah, I'm interested, Casey. What do we do next? I'm going to put you in touch with somebody. Cool. How are you going to do that? I'm going to text you. I'm going to introduce you on a text. They'll take it from there. They'll set up a time to chat with you, and they do the rest. That's it. That's it. Look for the text. Cool. That's what you're going to do from the 5th to the 15th. From the 16th, which is a Monday, to the 23rd, which is a Monday, and specifically through this week, there's going to be a lot of presentations going on that we can invite them to go see throughout town. We'll be posting those out. We'll be hosting these at different locations. This will be one of the few times that we're going to have PBRs because it's a very special campaign. These will be hosted at different places around Houston. Well, Casey, I'm in Costa Rica. I'm in Indiana. I'm in Canada. I'm in Australia. I'm in Romania. That's not going to work for me. No problem. Don't worry. If you happen to be in Houston, you've got that as a resource. It's not the only resource you need. It's just one that we're going to do. You got all the resources you need, which is you need to talk to the guy. That's me. When I get done talking to them, they're going to watch a video. That's how we're crushing it right now, is they're talking to me. I inoculate them. I get them to say yes, that they really want to see the detail, and they watch the video. They get done with that. They're like, dude, this is a no-brainer. Let's do it. That's what's going to be happening from the 16th through the 23rd. That's going to be getting them in front of the information. Presentations. That can be a PBR. That can be a video. That can be a Zoom webinar. Depending on your city, there might be a DFY going on if you want to go to one of those. It doesn't matter. We're just going to get them in front of the information. You are not necessarily going to give them that presentation. You might send it to them. You might push play for it. You might get them in the car and take them to the thing, but you're not doing the presentation. That's done for you. You're getting them in front of the information. That's what we're going to do for the presentations. That's going to go from the 16th through the 23rd. Again, you don't do anything there. There's no work there. There's no time you're spending on that other than passing a link. Then what's going to happen from the 23rd through the end of the month is going to be step 5, which are closing your prospect. You don't do this step either. The factory does this. The leaders do this. Your upline does this. Excuse me. So this last week, again, all this is going to be on a very nice calendar. It's actually already done. I'll share that out with everybody. But from the 23rd to the 30th, it's going to be closing. What's that? That's where we overcome objections. Well, I really like it, but I don't have $599 to get started. Don't worry. I fix that for them. Oh my God, I've never thought about it that way. That's the response that I get once I get a hold of them. That's what we do in the closing step. Here's what's going to happen. Somebody's going to be ready to join. You got 100 people that you set with. During this week, you're going to call them back and say, hey, Joe, remember I told you about that thing? You watched the presentation. You said you had to think about it. I'm coming back now to chat with you because this thing is going. I told you it's going. I've actually already got somebody that's jumping on board with me. They're already in. They're taking this thing to the top with me. But hey, Joe, I chatted with you before I talked to Mark, who was ready to join. So Joe, if you were able to jump on board, I can put Mark in your organization. This is not a conversation that you need to get freaked out about. We'll help you with every part of this. We'll dig into this during the power hours as we're going through the week to be able to get this information to you. But this is an extremely powerful thing that's going to get Joe to join because Joe's going to have Mark already underneath of him. Now, you also talk to Chris before you talk to Joe. Joe said, man, this is a no-brainer. You're going to put Mark in me? I told you, dude, this is how it works. This thing's prime. This is who I'm working with. Let's go. You in? I'm in. Let's do it. Cool. All right, Joe. Here's the website. Get this filled out. Let me know if you got any questions. Joe's on board. You call Chris. Chris, remember I told you about that thing? You saw that presentation. You said you're going to think about it. I got 2 people ready to join. You ready to go? You got 2? I told you I'm taking it to the top. Well, heck yeah, man. Let's do this thing. Cool. Hey, Jim. Yeah, man. Hey, I told you I'd taken that thing to the top. Well, guess what? I got 3 people already on board. You want them in your organization or in mine? What do you mean? They're on board. They're already in. If you jump on board, I can already put them underneath of you. Dude, all you need is one other person. You've already made it to the second rank in the company. Really? Yep, I'm in. Let's do it. After you have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, everybody you talk to is going to have another person added in. Each one of these got exactly what they needed, which was somebody who's going to help them. The first guy to come on board, they see it, they're ready to go. Let's go. You can stack them however you want to put them in there. You can put them in the same leg. You can make 2 legs and then stack them on this leg and stack them on that leg. And just keep doing that until you reach out to everybody. Every time you talk to somebody, they say no, go to the next one. Somebody joins, go back to them and say, hey, remember I told you 3? It actually turned into 4. Not interested? No problem. Hey, I know I told you it was 4. Another person joined, dude. It's 5. Are you kidding me? I'm serious. Nah, okay. Hey, it's 17 now. You ready? 17? Dude, I told you I'm taking this to the top. Are you in? I'm in. Let's do this. And if you think that doesn't happen, you don't know much about how this industry works. 17 is the record that I've seen in one day. 17 business partners in one day doing this type of thing. And that's not a fluke. That's how it works. That's what we do on the closing step. And we do that with you. Because I gave them the presentation, I did the inoculation, I'll have that chat and say, hey, how do you want to do this? There will be so many people coming on board if you spend the time to do a whisper campaign, to send out a text message to fill the calendar, to spend 3 minutes of the 30 you're going to spend with your friend, 3 minutes telling your story about what this is to see if that piques their interest. It's still up to them if they're interested. You're just letting them know. Don't be selfish of not sharing what it is that you found. They see a presentation that you don't give, and the closing step has a very small portion that you would play in that, and that's a maybe. Not all the time do you have to do that. You do this. Remember, we started with somewhere around 100 people that are going to see the presentation. You do this with 100 people. Actually, you've been having conversations with hundreds of people, but you pick 100 people to invite. They come have coffee, sit downs, phone calls, Zooms, whatever you do to chat with them and have a 30-minute chat. After that, they're going to watch that presentation. And after that, 20 of them at a minimum are going to join your business. These are the average numbers. Averages mean it's not that for everybody and it's a guarantee. That's what people see. Let me give you some examples. Real estate agent did this 8 years ago that Eric Worre trained on this method. Had 140 sit downs. Did that in 10 days, 14 a day, 7-hour days. Well, Casey, I can't do that. Yes, you can. But this is what he did. Out of that 140, doing this process, just shy of 50 joined his organization. It was 48 or 49. Those 50 people that joined, he worked with them for 90 days. Made sure they got to the big event, like the Vegas event. Those 50 people blossomed into a massive organization. After the convention, he gets everybody together in the team and says, hey, I want to let everybody know I'm moving on to my next thing. I hope I brought huge value to you in showing you and introducing you to this model. I've trained you. I've established leaders. Now here's the deal. I'm moving on. I hope I brought value to you, but I am moving on. If you have questions, don't call me. If you got questions, call corporate or call the leaders that I put in place. But I'm moving on. For the last 8 years, as a result of that 10-day push where he had 14 meetings a day for 30 minutes each and spent 7 hours, worked his butt off for 10 days, for the last 8 years, he's made in excess of $100,000 per month. That's not a typo. I didn't have a hiccup there. That's just shy of $10 million. He hasn't been to a convention since. He hasn't taken a phone call. He cashes checks, big ones. Now, here's the deal. I'm not going anywhere. I don't have another thing that's going to replace this for me because I'm in this too much, because I get too much significance and it's towards my mission of impacting 200,000 people. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just saying that's what that guy did. Imagine having the system that we have in place now. Imagine the technology that we have in place now. Imagine the products that we have at our disposal right now. Imagine spending a concentrated effort of launching your plane and getting it somewhere in a short amount of time. Imagine that at the end of September, you have 20 new business partners in your business. Imagine what happens when we train them on the most simple, basic things on maintaining altitude, driving their little airplane out on the tarmac. Not launching it, just driving it out there and doing some of the basic things. Do you think it's possible that they might know 3 people that want to join their business? So these 20 new people come on board. What if they each got 3 people in the month, not in the first day, but in the entire month, they just got 3. That's 60 new people that join in your organization in October. Those people, when they join, do they know 3 people out of hundreds that are going to look at this and see the absolute explosion and momentum of what's happening and go, oh my God, what are y'all doing? Yes, I am in. Put me in. What do I got to do? Because here's how this works. If you're looking at these numbers and it's fighting you and it's hurting you right now, the problem with that is you're looking at it through the lens of going slow and maintaining altitude. You're existing in your past on what you've done in the past. You've never sat down and done a concentrated launch and getting your business off the ground. I'm just not ready, Casey. No problem. You can catch us on the next big launch. You're still going to get momentum out of this thing. You're still going to have new people joining your business because you ain't going to be able to help it, because you're going to be seeing people going through ranks and it's going to be nuts. So get fired up about this thing and look at this and stop saying, well, I don't think it's going to happen because it's never happened. That mindset is why it hasn't happened. Change that. Get excited about this. Listen to me as I say, this isn't some newfangled thing. This is how it's done. This is how you get on the magazine covers. This is how you do this business. It's not the marathon. It's the sprint for a concentrated period of time. Now you run your butt off. You let your family know, hey, it's going to be a little weird in the beginning of September. I'm going to be doing some things. I've already had the chat with my family. I've already got events scheduled that are already in the middle of this thing. They're already there. I get it. Work around them. My daughter's birthday is in the middle of that. Work around it. You can still go to the thing. You can still see the thing. But if you're sick and tired of talking about how you're going to one day figure it all out and do it, I'm telling you, this is how it's done. Put your flag in the ground and say, this is it. Don't let all that nonsense in your past come running across the bridge. Tell them this shall not pass. Stay over there. I'm doing this. This is 260 new people in your organization by Thanksgiving. Every time somebody comes into this organization, you show them that we are all going to be in Las Vegas. They got to get to Vegas. When they get in, not before, but right after they join, you say, now, next thing is you got to get to Vegas. What the heck? No, dude, we're going to Vegas. We got 1,000 people going to Vegas. You're 1,000. That's what we're shooting for. That's what we're going for. You're going to be a part of that. Get your ticket. I've already got my ticket. We're going to Vegas. This thing's going to be nuts. What's in Vegas? The top guy. Look at this book. Look at all this stuff. This is the guy. We're going to this event. This is what all of our stuff is based upon. You've got to be at this event. Why? Because that's what everybody's doing. If you want to be successful in this thing, you get your ticket, go to the event in Vegas. Out of 260 people, let's say you can only get 20% of them to go. That's 52 people. There are 29 of y'all. 3 of them had to go to bed. There were 32 at one point. We're down to 29. We'll have people looking at the replay. I have my shooters that are all in on this thing. And I have you all that are going to decide if you're all in on this thing. if at least 20 of you decide to do this with me. Just 20. If 20 of you do this, we put 1,000 people in Vegas. You will change the trajectory of your life doing this. I know I have. Some of y'all been to the house. Some of you have seen what we've done. Now you take the system that I put in place with the help of everybody in this team, all the feedback, all the different, a decade of this. Everything's baked. I don't say that unless it is. I'm not your hype guy. I'm telling you this is how it's done. So, make sure I didn't miss anything. Concentrated, sustained, crazy, massive action for a short period of time and launch your plane. Casey, I don't know if I can do 20. Don't get hung up on the numbers. Do the action. Don't hedge. Don't hold back. Stop going down, carrying all this baggage of your past, of your terrorist, messing with you. Set the bag down. You don't have to carry your baggage if you don't want to. Some of you will fight people for your baggage, for your past. You will fight yourself. You will fight your loved ones for it. Put the damn bag down. Step away from it and create a new future. You can do this. Why? Because you're going to send a text message to say, hey, I got this new thing I'm getting ready to do, biggest thing ever. We need to chat soon. I know you can do this because after that, you're going to call them and invite them to coffee. You've done that before. I know you can do this because you're going to sit down and you're going to have a 30-minute session, 27 minutes talking about your friend and asking them about them like you do in a grocery store. And in 3 minutes, you're going to tell what your background is, what you don't like about it, what you found, what its future looks like for you, and invite them if they want to take a look. You're inviting them. You're asking them. You're not throwing up and telling them all the details. You're telling your personal story. Don't be selfish. Share that. They've been sharing for you for 27 minutes. Give them 3 minutes of what you've been doing. Pass them to the proof. Introduce them to the proof. That's me. That's the shooters. That's your upline. Send them to me. We got it. I know you can do this because you've done all those steps. You don't have to do the presentation. You don't have to do the closing. You just got to have a sustained effort for a short amount of time and change the course of your life. Now is the time. $20 people come into your business in September. It's time to get a new car. And I haven't even talked about customers in this example, by the way. But have a moment and go car shopping. Tell them in the whisper campaign is like, dude, I got to show you something. Have that at your sit down. This is the car I'm going to get. What? Yeah, I'm going to get, this is what my future looks like. You want to go on a ride with me? 60 new people come in October. That's 30,000 QV. That's Ruby. 180,000 is just shy. That's about 90,000 QV. That's Emerald, just about Diamond. How about by Thanksgiving, you go up 3, 4, or 5 ranks? And that's if you've got 0 people in your organization right now. What if you have somebody in your organization for y'all that have a team? What happens when they go do this? Sit there and create your future. Stop living in your past. Oh, I've been doing this for so long, it's not working. Da, 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 da. Change it. You're not a damn tree. Or don't. Your call. If you're tired of making promises of what's going to happen in the future, if your significant other's getting a little fed up with all the stuff you're going to do, stop saying what you're going to do and do it. Because you can. Because you're going to have a 3-minute chat with some people. So, next steps. I know I'm going a little long here. I hope y'all are okay with it. Casey, I'm all in. Holy crap, I'm all in. If you're all in, put that on Kyani Local. Go on Facebook and just put the word, I'm all in. People are going to start asking. Start your whisper campaign with that. I don't care. But declare it. Don't hedge. Declare it. Inform your family. There's a difference in asking and informing. Do it with respect, do it with love, but plant your damn flag. Let's get after it. So what do you do next? Have conversations with people now. Make it about them. Be in the grocery store. Ask them what they're doing. Build the rapport. Well, Casey, I've got somebody that's just about ready to join. Should I wait? No. You want them on board so they can participate in this with you. The person that has the most people come Labor Day wins this game, just so you know. You get as many people in, we'll figure it out when we get to Labor Day. August is going to be insane. You want more people in that you possibly get so that when September hits, you got that many more that can duplicate this out. Well, Casey, they're not going to be able to go all the way. That's a bunch of nonsense. I got people that literally just joined that are already doing this now because they didn't want to wait. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, let's launch it. So next steps, Whisper campaign is coming up. That'll be your next thing. Between now and then, have conversations. Do the work. Wave, say hi. Ask them how they're doing. They tell you their thing, empathize, connect with them. But take action. Get support, let everybody know. Yes, ma'am, Leanne, this is it. Now's the time. Don't miss out on this. This is for everyone. This is not me taking some specific elite sniper team into the jungle. This is me taking the entire organization. Massive, absolute airlift of everybody's planes taking off. Dallas, when Dallas blew up, this is what they did. It didn't take forever. There's 2,000 cars in Dallas. There's less than 50 still, even after David and Tara got theirs. There's still less than 50 in Houston. It's time. If you choose to join, if you choose to jump on board, plant your flag, say you're all in, let everybody know. If you got any questions, reach out to me, reach out to your leaders. Make sure you're crystal clear on this. Don't get left behind. If you don't have your ticket yet, I think we're 131 days to Vegas. You can get a round trip flight right now from Houston to Vegas for $200. Sherry just did it yesterday or the day before. She got an Airbnb in the suites of the MGM for $90. She posted that out to the group. You're 131 days from that. Tickets right now, if you get one that I have, and it's first come, first serve. Whoever gives me the money, I don't care if you reserved one, whoever gives me the money first gets it. $230. You will not possibly ever get it cheaper than that. I know. That's just how it is. Casey, that's expensive. $230. Later this month, I spent $10,000 for me personally to go hang out with Eric Worre for a week, 6 days actually. It's not expensive. You just don't make enough money. Fix that with this. I promise you these ranks fix problems in your life. A lot of them. $230 for the ticket, $90 a night for the room, $200 for the flight. You got 131 days. Let's call that $700. You got 131 days. Get $7 out of your account every day and put it in a jar at your house. You'll have $928 at the end. So you can go gamble $228 at a blackjack table when you're there. Okay? $7 a day right now to change your life for everything. Make the commitment. Say yes. Tell the world. Figure it out. All right? Cool. If you got questions, post those out. Send me video chat. Send me voice text. Call me on the phone. Make sure you're crystal clear on this thing. Make sure you do not miss out on this thing. Make sure you decide, make the choice, and let's go get after it. Let's see if we got any here. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. I'm going to unmute the line so everybody can say goodnight. Make sure you get this replay out to everybody that wasn't here, and let's go make it happen. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a wonderful night.
Good night.
Good night, Casey. Good night.
Night.
Call me, Beverly. Call me, Beverly.
Good night.
Good seeing y'all.
Casey, did you see where I paid?
I did. I saw you for 2 and David and Tara for 2. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Cool. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate what you said.
Thank you, Casey.
My pleasure, David.
One more
for you,
question
Casey.
on Zooms when you're recording. Do you have to have the Zoom where you pay for it to be able to record?
I don't know. The only thing I think the unpaid version does is shrink you to 45 minutes.
Right. I thought so too. I couldn't figure out how to record it, but I'm doing it from my phone in the car in the mornings. But I've had a few people request that I record it because, we've had some people miss out. So, all right, cool.
I think Zoom is $10 a month, $10.95 a month or something like that for the account that I use. And you can have like 2,500 or 5,000 people on it. So,
yeah, worth every penny.
Cool.
All right. Thanks, Casey.
Thank you. Y'all have a great night.